Good morning, and welcome to your daily Farm and Home Show, brought to you by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. And now, here's your host.
Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna, and this morning we're visiting with Kevin Lyons. He's the Monroe County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Joanna.
Kevin, for the last couple years, it seems like you can't pick up something about Kentucky without it talking about industrial hemp.
It's just like Tom Keene says at the talks, it's hot and it's happening, and it's definitely the hot topic in agriculture, particularly in Kentucky, but all across the nation too. There's a lot of interest in industrial hemp.
And there is, and there's been several processors that have moved into Kentucky, as well as some of our elected officials have been the forefront leaders of getting our plan approved and really getting us on the right track.
Yeah, for sure. It's just we've seemed like Kentucky's kind of been in the leadership role as far as getting it passed through the federal steps that it had to take to get it legalized to grow it. And then, of course, a few years ago, it was all those players had to work together to get it in the research stage. But in the 2018 Farm Bill, it kind of became legal nationwide to grow it. But that doesn't mean it's anybody can grow it. There's still lots of rules and regs to go along with it.
Yeah, and in the state of Kentucky, you still have to apply. Those usually come out in the fall for growers, and they still have to make application, even though it was passed in the Farm Bill. And I think that's probably one of the biggest misconceptions is I've had several calls saying, well, it's legal now, I can plant as much as I want, and that's just not the case.
Yeah, I'm the same way. You get those calls, and it's just going to be a learning process, and it's going to take some time to get all that information out there, but it's not I can just go plant hemp and raise hemp and process hemp or whatever. It's all still going to be regulated through the states, and in Kentucky it'll be through the Kentucky Department of Ag. And they think their application process will probably be October, November again this year, like it was in 2018. But I don't think that's set in stone just yet. So just be ready. And that's one of the things we want to talk about is getting ready for that permitting process if you just think you might want to grow, transport, or process in the future.
Yeah, because it's new for all of us. I mean, as extension agents, even for us with insects and insecticides and diseases and those type of things, we don't have those publications that have 10 years of research on them. So it's all new and it's all a learning process. But, the kind of rumored is, it's a get-rich-quick kind of thing. I'm going to plant hemp and get rich.
Yep.
And there are some economic considerations there.
Yes, they sure are. And it is very wise if you are going to be a grower, and let's just kind of concentrate on the grower for just a minute. If you're going to be growing, you need to know where you're going to try to market it. And a contract is essential, but a contract is not fail-safe or bulletproof, however you want to describe it. You hear these stories about people having the contract but maybe not necessarily getting paid or paid on time. But that goes with any commodity. But it seems like with this the new interest in hemp and the infrastructure not being altogether in place and everybody's still kind of feeling their way through it, it's particularly important to know what you're doing as far as the marketing side and how you're going to get paid if you're wanting to grow it. And
you probably need to do some of that research before this application period opens.
Yeah, absolutely, because the application, it can cost several $100s just to apply to KDA for a permit. And I think they have 3 classes. One is the grower permit, one is for transporting or being a broker, and the other one is the processor. So you just you work your way through that application. It's lengthy. There's a background check with it. There's GPS maps that you have to get together of your farm, where you're going to grow it or seed the clones or whatever you're going to do, wherever that hemp's going to be, you've got to mark it on that map. And for some people, that may be a little bit intimidating and take a little time. But you don't want to wait to the last minute, is my point on the permitting process, to say, hey, it's it's here the last week of November, I think I'll try to start getting this together. You're probably too late.
Yeah, so do some of that research now about where you can market. And we do have several growers in South Central Kentucky, and there's a list of those on the Department of Agriculture's website. I mean, would you encourage them to go talk to other growers?
Oh, absolutely. That is by far the best resource, in my opinion, on if you're interested in starting to grow, go talk to somebody that's already done it. Or is doing it. They can probably save you a lot of time and trouble and expense. You can pass on some of that good knowledge, but do your homework. your homework for sure.
All right, so a lot goes into the application for industrial hemp, but if you have questions, you can always give us a call at the Cooperative Extension Service. We can help you with production aspects, and then you can contact KDA for the application. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna, and this morning we're visiting with Kevin Lyons. He's the Monroe County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
Now, Kevin, today we're going to continue our conversation about industrial hemp. We talked a little bit the other day about the application process coming up in the fall and how you really needed to do your research. But let's talk a little bit about the regulatory or the regulation side for hemp.
It's you hear this term, or I do a lot. It's kind of the Wild West. And in a way it is, but that's not altogether true. A lot of people think it's just, particularly like on the CBD products, you'll hear that term, it's just kind of the Wild West out there. And that might be a little bit of truth to that, but just because the FDA hadn't stepped in and really enforced the rules that are in place already, and a lot of folks think that they will continue to do research and probably apply more rules in the future, but that's to be seen. But that is a common general perspective among people that are involved in the industry, to think that at some point FDA will take a stronger role, particularly on the CBD products and how they are marketed and the claims that are made with them and all those types of things that go along with that. And
I think people have questions about industrial hemp and what differentiates it from marijuana.
Well, there's a couple of things that I want to bring out about that have kind of picked up on. And like you said previously, it's new to all of us pretty much. Some folks have been in it for a few years, but we're still kind of learning, and just like everyone else is. But you can't really differentiate industrial hemp from marijuana or the cannabis just by looking at it. They look pretty much the same. It's the levels of the THC and the difference. I think it's like 0.3% THC. That or above is considered marijuana, whether it's the cannabis plant or the industrial hemp plant. And if you get above that in your industrial hemp plant, you've got troubles. You're going to have to deal with that some way. And it may be that you won't be able to market that, and you may have to destroy that. So that's a consideration. But that 0.3% THC level, and THC is what gives people the buzz or the high when they use marijuana products. That's kind of where it's differentiated at.
And you know, I think people have a lot of questions about that. And Ryan from KDA, the plant division director, I thought he explained it well when he said there's big dogs, there's small dogs, but they're all dogs.
That's right.
And with industrial hemp, there's varieties that are, you know, bred to be lower in THC.
Yeah, I like to use this for an example when talking to people. It's just like corn or soybeans or any other commodity. You have different varieties of hemp. Some are grown for the fiber, some are grown more to produce the CBD oil, some are grown for the seed, and so you may have a small plant with lots of buds that will produce a lot of oil, or you may have a taller plant with not as many buds but produces more fiber. So there are different varieties for different purposes, just like I always use kind of corn. You've got corn for silage, and you've got shorter corn for sweet corn or grain, and it's just all different, so you kind of got to educate yourself on those as well.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of uses, though. That's the upside, that we can use industrial hemp in a lot of different ways. Now, one of the best ways is going and actually looking, and you have a field day coming up that I know you want to invite people to. Yeah,
we'd love for people to feel free to come. It's going to be on Monday, September the 23rd at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and that will give we have a lot of part-time farmers, and that will give them a chance to maybe come that afternoon and to see it. But I've been fortunate to have a good cooperator that's put out 3 acres on my farm. 2 acres are under plastic and irrigated, and about half of that is black plastic and about half of that is white. And then there's about 1 acre of conventional tillage hemp, and I don't have any financial gain in any of that. It's just I ask him to do it, and I don't get any rent, don't have any investment in it, but he was kind enough to do it for me just so people can come and see it. But we'd love for him to come over. Just contact your local extension office. I sent out the flyers to most of them. They'll try to get you directions, but we'll be glad to have everyone that wants to come.
All right, and it's not only for hemp growers. You can bring your entire family because Kevin's going to have food demonstrations, 4-H is going to be there, Legos I even saw on the flyer.
Yeah.
So it's a family event, but you're really going to learn something. And I think there's no better way than to come in and talking to a grower to learn.
Right, we've got some great speakers to come talk about it too.
All right, Kevin, well, thanks for the information. If you would like more information about the field day in Tompkinsville on September 23rd, just contact your local extension office. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
If you have questions about today's topic, please call the Warren County Extension Office at the number on your screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.